Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm live. I haven't been live in a few weeks. But I thought, hey, I'm home. In a weird mood. Got a headache. We got unhealthy air thanks to Canada. Might as well live stream for a bit. So yeah. Let's do it. Don't know how long I'll live stream. Maybe I'll play a game. I haven't played games in a long time. How do we even do that? I don't remember. You play NES games in the browser? Yeah. All right. I wonder if I can use a. Wonder if I can use a controller. Let me see what controller I have. I'll be right back. I'm going to look for a quick controller. Oh, hey, Andy. Hey, Mason. I'll be right back. I'm going to try to find a controller. I might try to play a video game while we chat. Give me just a second. Don't go anywhere. I mean, you can do what you want. I found a PlayStation. Whoa. Oh, I made a mess. I found a PlayStation controller. I don't know if these work or not. I'm going to get a cord. All right, found it. Let's see. Sorry, yeah. You should see my office. It is a hellhole. Problem is, this is a mini USB, and I don't have like a whole lot of mini USB stuff. So we'll see. I don't even know if this is going to work. I don't even know what generation of PlayStation this is. Probably PlayStation 3, my guess. It says DualShock 3, so I'm guessing that's probably... Oh, and it's just flashing. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you can see that. That doesn't seem good. I mean, obviously the battery's dead. I don't know. We'll let it go there for a little bit. Maybe it'll turn on enough, and I'll try to play something. Let's see. I'm obviously behind on comments because I was just messing around in my trashed office. How are things? How's the family? Yeah, I haven't been around much either. Just, I don't know, man. Everybody's doing fine. Everybody is doing well. We're under contract to sell the farm again. I mean, I'm not getting my hopes up. Supposedly, we're supposed to close by July 9th, but again, it'll be the third time we were under contract, and we've had lots of accepted offers that we never got under contracts. But yeah, anyway. It's still just flashing here. I'm bummed out about this. Do they work? Can you plug them in? Do they only work? What I don't know is if they only work as... Okay, if I just plug it into power, it doesn't do anything. Okay. I expected that it would, like, if I just plugged it into USB power, that it would charge. But if I plug it into USB data, it powers. I don't know. Like I said, I'll leave it there. Oh no, I'm sorry. We're so 7, 8 years ago, something like that. My wife and I spent our nest egg buying a farm. It's about 35 minutes away. And we used the farm and we remodeled the barn to turn it into a college age ministry because like our kids had like gotten past the age of youth group in church and there's just nothing past that. And so we're like, well, that sucks. So we wanted to, just have something that young adults could do and hang out and, spend time together and just have fun. And so we did. And like we did awesome things with the barn. I mean, there's like 20-foot movie theater in there, huge giant sound system, like big stage subwoofers and speakers and microphones and mixer, and we would have they would play like a band, and we'd watch movies sometimes or like play Mario Kart on a 20-foot screen, and like we bought it specifically for the barn, but we'd also use the farmhouse and like cook everybody food and all that kind of stuff. The county shut us down. Lots of totally uncool things. They said that we couldn't meet out there because everything had to be up to commercial codes. Like they wouldn't even let us have a Bible study in the farmhouse because they said, nope, can't do that because it's not a commercial building, zoned commercial property. Anyway, whatever. Could we have won if we went to court? Probably. Did we have the energy, the resources, or the desire to do that? No. So we ran it for a couple of years, and then we just had the farm. My middle daughter and her husband lived there for a couple of years while they were saving up to buy a house. So we just kept the property, and they lived there, and kept it up, and they paid all the utilities and stuff. Well, then they successfully bought a house. So they moved and bought a house, and now we just have this farm that's like 35 minutes away. We don't need a farm. We live in town. We have a house where I am right now, which is in the little town of Petoskey in northern Michigan. So we just had this farm in Brutus, and we decided last year we need to sell it because we don't use it for anything, and it's silly for us to have this farm. So we've been trying to sell it. We were under contract multiple times. Uh, Somebody signed that they're going to sell it as soon as our house sold. So most of the winter, it just sat off the market. And then when that couple did sell their house, they backed out and kept their deposit, and we were just, SOL, whatever. Another contract failed at the last minute. It's been a kind of a nightmare. It's been up for sale since last fall. We're under contract again. We'll see how it goes. I don't know, but yeah, Scott, tell me about it. There's it was very ugly, very messy, and like I said, if we would have pursued it and gone to court, or maybe even contacted the ACLU, we might have even gotten help to defend it. But it was so emotionally draining that it wasn't worth it. I mean, we tried for over a year to do everything they told us we needed to do in order to make it continue working, and then we just didn't want to do it anymore. So yeah, we just shut it down. And now, like, in my storage shed, along with my Volkswagens and stuff, I have like DJ equipment and like all this stuff, and yeah, I don't know, it's just a pain in the butt. So anyway, hoping that sells. That's been a huge stress. Yeah, Canadian wildfires now. So if I go outside, I have really bad lungs. It's just a truth about me. So stuff like bad air outside from the Canadian wildfire makes it rough for me to do anything outside. So now I'm stuck inside, which is probably why I'm here today instead of like doing something like mowing the farm. But anyway, yeah, it is what it is. I'm fine. Which I know is what anybody who's not fine says, but yeah, I could be a lot worse. So anyway, yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by and saying hi. I mean, I've been doing my best to do work. I did make this. I just saw this off to the side. So server racks, like server racks are cool, right? This is kind of a trend. I saw a couple people, like I think Techno Tim had one. I don't know if he bought it or made it or what, but this is just all 3D printed, but it's a 10-inch rack, which I guess some equipment comes in like 10-inch size, and so like there's shelves and like and then put in shelves for stacking up smaller equipment, and it's all put together with just standard M6 cage nuts. So I mean that's cool. I haven't put anything on it yet, but I thought it was really really nifty, so I wanted to print one out and like. I use Unify for most of my stuff, and a lot of the Unify stuff is small, and so I thought, I could actually like probably put it on there. Like if you're not using Unify, they have like this Cloud Gateway Max device now, which is a cloud controller and a router, and a little switch all built into a tiny little box that has an NVMe drive that's user replaceable, and it does all the security camera stuff. I don't know, it's pretty cool. The bookstore my wife works, I just helped them buy one, and yeah, it was pretty cool. So the next time I upgrade, I'm gonna do that. I have PF Sense now, but Unify has finally progressed enough, and my needs are lower than they used to be. So I'm just gonna probably just get like one of those Cloud Max gateways. I did print that out, Mason. In fact, there's like other pieces too. Like just keep printing. You can build them like to whatever size you want. If you look on the side, it just keeps like bolting pieces together, and it just uses cage nuts. And yeah, it's like this cute little thing. I even printed like feet that snapped in, and yeah, it's all just 3D printed pieces on my printer, and it stacks up into a fairly sturdy thing. And like I said, it's just all cage nuts. So like if you're not familiar with like M6 cage nut things, so it's like just these guys, like the little cage nuts, and then these go into the square holes in that kind of a. Let me try to get it to. Come on, focus on that. There we go. These little guys hook into the square holes, and then you just like screw the screws in. These washers, which I've always thought these are ridiculous washers, but you just kind of like, oh, there, it focused on the other thing. Oh, go back to here. Yeah. You put these on, and supposedly, I don't know, maybe it stops you from scratching hardware. I don't know. I always thought that part was dumb. But yeah, it's all cage nuts that it attaches with. And I thought that was fun. So I just printed out. The nice thing is, I have a whole bunch of black filament. There's a company called... The company is called... Sean ripped off their name. No. Tangled. Tangled filament. And I stopped my subscription, but I had a subscription. It was like super cheap filament that they made. And I got like 2 kilogram rolls every month. It was just black. It's the only color they offered. And so I just got piles of this black filament that I can use and print stuff like that. So anyway. THRB 10-inch version. I don't know what THRB 10-inch is. I know that what I had though is a 10-inch rack, and I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess maybe it's a standard. Maybe 10-inch is now like another standard, like a 19-inch rack, which is offensive for the rest of the world that's not American. Does 19 inches for a 19-inch rack, does that correlate to something in metric that actually makes sense? 19 is a weird number, so maybe it does. 19 inches would be, I don't know, like 40, 50, maybe it's 50. Well, now I'm curious. Now I had to figure it out. 19 inches into centimeters, into just cm. There we go. 48.26. So that's not that, but I mean, close to 50. Yeah, that's just weird. I don't know. Where did 19 inches come for a standard? Maybe Google knows that. Why are racks 19 inches? Let's see. Nobody knows. Nothing on a 19-inch rack measures 19 inches. Okay, that's funny. The opening is 17.75. The reasons for the original choice on 19 inches seems lost to history. Interesting. Inches don't matter. It's all about the use. Oh, I see. You're all about height, not width, huh? Well, I never. Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Oh, yeah. So like a standard server rack is 19 inches wide. But apparently, according to this website, it's not actually 19 inches, but a 19-inch rack is like the standard. And I thought maybe that correlated to something in metric, but no, it doesn't. I mean, it correlates to something, but nothing nice and round. So anyway, oh, have I talked to anybody about braces? I finally have a date where I get my braces off. That's nice. Of course, it's not until August, so I have to spend all summer like this, which ticks me off. I go in like sometime in July, and they scan my teeth, and then they print out retainers, and then August 11th, I go in and actually get the braces off and get my retainers. So I mean, like, yay, there's like an actual date, but oh my gosh, it was supposed to be 6 months, and that was well over a year ago. Anyway, I think that width has been around since pre-server. Yeah, relay racks is what, so maybe the telephone industry, but nobody seems to know exactly why it's the width it is. But I mean, it is nice that there's at least that standard, because yeah, audio equipment is all still 19 inches too. Like if you buy, like I built a big rack mount microphone thing when my wife was a drama teacher, and I had like over 20 wireless microphones, and they all went into like a big switch and everything, and they're all rack mounted, and all the little receiver boxes were all like on server rack shelving, and it was all 19 inches, all standard, the same as the server, which was really nice. So yeah, your son will probably get his off before you. Oh man, I mean, I'm happy for your son, don't get me wrong. It feels like such a poor decision on my part to try to get my one crooked tooth fixed. If I would have just lived with it, my tongue would have stopped fiddling with it at night. You know, I mean, the whole like the reason that I got them is because my tongue was getting cut at night when my tongue would fiddle with the sharpness of my crooked tooth after getting uh, a bite splint, a mouth guard at night. But oh my gosh, it's so much worse to have braces. It's the worst. I hate having braces so much. I cannot explain. And I'm not even going to get my wish was at least I should get them off by my 50th birthday. Nope. Not gonna. How do I mount 66 blocks in a server rack? Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, wait, how tall are, no, I have a 72U. 72U? Yeah, 72. I think that's what it is. Is that what like one of the tall, 6-foot tall ones are? Feel like that. Anyway. Corey, hello. Good to see you. Blight Moose, Sheffield is the nearest large town you may have heard of. Well, I might have missed something. Oh, I'm sorry, I did miss something, and that was a loud. I'm sorry, didn't mean to yell on the microphone. Oh, okay. And Scott said you could use some Mac Mini until Mac $100 servers. Yeah. I mean, that's why I printed out this 10-inch unit because it looked cool, and then I printed out like a couple of these shelves, you know, like that you would use for going into it. And I mean, I can expand it to make it taller. It's shockingly sturdy. So yeah, I thought, cool, maybe I'll just downsize. I have a little, I think it's maybe a 20U wall mounted, or maybe 24U rack mount server in my basement. But I'm not running much home lab stuff anymore. I just have, I mean, I do, and that's not true. I have a full standing rack in my daughter's garage, but I'm not hosting email anymore. I guess that's the big thing. That was the thing that was so finicky to self-host because you have to have a static IP with reverse DNS, and it has to be a clean IP address that's not already blacklisted, and you have to set up reputation on that IP address. So like, you just got to treat that IP address like it's gold, and it was a pain in the butt. And so, and it was also expensive to get a static IP that I could get a reverse DNS entry for. So anyway, I'm not upset that I'm no longer hosting email. I'm glad that I hosted it for a while because it was fun, and it was certainly simpler to add domains. Now, for outgoing email, I'm using Mailgun for outgoing email, and I'm not paying for a static IP address. I'm just using their, shared IP stuff. And I think most of my emails get out, but it's such a pain because every domain has to have its own login for SMTP. And it's just a pain in the butt. I miss just having one server that could handle any domains I threw at it. But anyway, a really cool thing though is that I have, what is the Cloudflare? So I use Cloudflare for DNS just free. I don't pay for it. And they have this really cool email feature where any incoming email to any domain, they'll forward for you. And they do the forwarding properly, so the headers are all correct, and I just forward it to my Gmail account, and they all come in clean and smooth, and it's really nice. And then for outgoing email, I use Mailgun, which also seemed to work well. Nobody asked that, but we're talking about home labs, and that's what I used to. That was like the most challenging part to get right when I was hosting everything at the farm was email. So yeah. And you can't really host email on VPSs, like virtual private servers, things like the Oracle box that I have, because those IP addresses are almost all flagged as spam, because people will use a VPS and they'll use it to send out spam until, it gets flagged, and then they'll get a different IP. So almost all those IP addresses from VPS providers are on spam lists, so you can't host email on them, which is a real bummer. So 72 inches is 6 foot. Yeah. So, but how big is a U? How big is a U? 72 is a U an inch and a half? How big is 1U? Is it an inch and a half? Inch and 3/4. All right. So 72U would, no, that's not. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So how tall is like a, let's see. All right, well, let's do 72 divided by 1.75 is about, oh, okay, so not, so it's probably 42U. That's, I'm sure that's what I have, is a 42U, because that's just over 6 foot tall, and that's how big my rack is. So yeah, so it's a 42 is a full size rack, which probably somebody already said in the comments, but I'm on the wrong window. So anyway. I know that when I was working before I'm at the job now, but when I was a sysadmin and we had like 5 or 6 different data centers, we tried to limit it to 1U, but all of our hard drives were on big 4U devices, and so we had like our entire rack was like from top to bottom just chock full, but we didn't want to have to spread to a second rack, and so yeah, um, I wasn't the guy that went on site, but I remember watching like videos, like FaceTime videos, a couple times when we were trying to troubleshoot stuff, and I'm like, wow, that stuff is crammed in there, and like cables are like just like wound up and like zip strapped so that it wouldn't like go outside of its caged area. Because we had like 3 of the industrial like rack mount Synologies, with each of them with 2 additional like 4U. I think they were 4U add-ons. Maybe they're only 2U add-ons, but still, when you have 3 complete sets, that adds up quick. Plus all the servers. You know, we had a bunch of servers in there and the switching equipment. It was crazy. Yeah, my 42U rack currently has probably about maybe 18U that's actually fully used. And some of my stuff is not standard rack mount. I just have like a rack mount shelf with like stuff on it. Like I have a Synology on my server rack, but it's a 12 disc like desktop unit, and so I just have like a shelving thing. I mean like this, but you know, for a real full size rack, 19-inch rack, and then I just have it setting on there, so it takes up probably 5U, I would guess. Um, anyway, Scout, why did they not use Invisalign? Maybe I haven't told the story. I went in when I went in to get braces. I actually went in to get Invisalign, and when he found out that I had a night guard, so like a bite splint that you wear at night so you don't grind your teeth, he's like, oh, well then you can't use Invisalign because you can't. You'll break them at night. You can't wear Invisalign with a mouth guard. I'm like, oh, so what do I do? He's like, well, we'll just put um traditional metal braces, but we'll just put them on the bottom, and we won't even put them all the way back. We'll just put them, along the front and straighten that tooth up. It'll take probably 6 months, a little longer, but probably about 6 months. I'm like, I guess. And so that's what they started. And then it took about 3 months and that tooth was straight. I'm like, cool. But while it was doing that, it made all my mouth mess up. So my teeth didn't touch anymore. And like, they're all like misaligned and stuff. And so the following full year, they expanded the braces to go all the way back on the bottom, trying to do something. I don't know. And then he eventually gave up with just fixing it with bottom braces. And he said, we're going to put top braces on, but the only reason we're putting them on is so we have somewhere to attach rubber bands so we can get that bite fixed. And then that wasn't working. So then they had to put the braces in the top all the way back, and the bottom is now all the way back. And I've had rubber bands in multiple configurations. I've had lots of different wires, like the thickest wire he had, and he's like bending them. My mouth has just been a nightmare. So, yeah. They didn't use Invisalign because they said I wouldn't be able to wear a mouth guard. But here's the thing. Once my teeth moved, I couldn't wear my night guard anyway. I haven't worn my mouth guard in a year and a half. So why wasn't I just using Invisalign? I don't know. But yeah, I'm a little bitter about it. So, yeah. Yes, I even knew that Mason lived in Wales, and I know that Wales is a country, which if you've been hanging around the live streams for a while, you'll know that I did not realize that at first. Yeah. So, but it is. It's a whole country, y'all. Okay. Funny question for my European friends here. A can of whipped cream, like the with the like make a fancy thing on top of like ice cream. Do you actually call that squirty cream? Because that sounds pornographic to my ears, but somebody straight faced called it a can of squirty cream, and I thought they were messing with me, but there was never like a cracking a joke. So I just gotta, I mean, that's funny to me. Light Moose analogy of now started to say use one of our kit. You have to use our disc. So Bite Moose, I've seen that actually where they're like not where they used to have like a list of supported drives, and now they're just gonna only use their drives, I guess. Which whatever. I like their software. You know, their software is pretty good, but I'll be honest, the commercial grade stuff, we had so many issues with it. It was if the only Synology experience I had was with their like industrial commercial grade rack mount stuff, I would say it is the worst product ever. We had, this is not an exaggeration, a 50% failure rate on hardware. 50% failure rate. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. We have sent back more rack mount devices only to have reconditioned ones sent back. And then we've had the ones that were sent back to us fail immediately as well. It was a terrible experience. So squirty cream, Mason, thank you. Oh my gosh. That is, I mean, the person said it again, straight faced, that it just sounds pornographic to my ears here. And it just makes me laugh. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna refer to it as squirty cream that from now on, and embarrass my family whenever we're around people. So yeah, I would use a British accent when I said it, but I don't have good accents, so you know. Anyway, I said I don't think anybody was on the live stream yet, but we currently have really bad air quality because Canada's on fire. So yeah, I can't really go out and do stuff. I just go outside to take the dogs to do their business, and I start coughing already. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that the wind shifts a little bit, but right now I have on my my little home assistant display here this red flashing. I have like a little widget, and it's like red flashing, unhealthy air, and it's been hovering between like 100 and 100 and like 50 or 60 air quality index for days. So anyway, oh, just got a U green nest, only 2 bays, but not for easy. Bite Moose, does it have decent software? The thing about Synology that I like is you can actually run some software on it, which is cool. You know, like I have on the Synology box, either here or at my daughter's garage, I have like a couple small Docker containers running. It's in the garage because I have a Sync Thing. Like if you're not familiar with Sync Thing, like syncing phones, not like a kitchen sink, but Sync Thing just is a pretty nifty. It's kind of like Dropbox, but self-hosted, and it works pretty well for me. And so I have a Sync Thing Docker image, and it's just running on the Synology. I wouldn't run huge Docker things on it, but for a couple small Docker images, I really like that. And like, what else? I was just doing, so this, I don't know how much I can talk about this, but I'm gonna anyway. So I'm doing a Google Workspace course for CBT Nuggets right now, like my day job. And we were just talking about connecting Google Workspace to third-party authentication and like user directories. And of course, LDAP is the standard they use and connect to like Active Directory and stuff like that. But Synology has an LDAP server built in, which is shockingly simple to use and set up, and it's pretty nice. I was really surprised how nice their LDAP server implementation is. They even integrate directly with Google Workspace for SSO if you want, which was shocking. So anyway, the software is pretty decent. Let's go ahead and do Docker. Oh, you can swap it to QNAS. That's interesting. I have an older small QNAS. It doesn't do a lot, but I mean, it seems like QNAS has come a long way. It used to be that QNAS just was terrible and Synology had better software, but I think QNAS software has come quite a long ways too. But anyway, Google it. Honestly, you can find I mean, I haven't. I could have just Googled it, but I literally just heard somebody say it, and I thought it was a joke, and it wasn't. So I didn't think to Google it. Also, I mean, Googling things that sound pornographic, not generally a good idea. You know, I mean, if I have to open up like a private browsing window, I'm thinking, should I be Googling this? So anyway, but I believe you. This never stopped. So I think either it's possible that this is dead or that it's just, you know, not compatible with a Mac. I don't know. Okay. Oh, wait, it's trying to, it's Bluetoothing. Let's see if I can Bluetooth it, which I know is ridiculous verbiage. All right, Bluetooth, nearby devices. Is it still blinking? Yeah, still blinking. Come on, connect. It'd be super cool if you connected. You're not gonna though, are you? These are Bluetooth, right? I figured that would be trying to connect via Bluetooth. SyncThing is open source, yes. I love SyncThing. I actually have used it for years, and I've never had an issue with it. And I have a whole bunch of devices that Andy, LXC, I like LXC. I mean, I use Proxmox, and so I have a lot of LXC containers, and I do like them for a lot of things, but I gotta be honest, sometimes I just can't find an alternative that I like more than Docker. I just love Docker, but I do like LXC for like a lot of times if I want to install an app in a full operating system, but I don't want to worry about a full operating system, I'll spin up an LXC container in Proxmox, and you know, then I have like the full operating system experience without the overhead of a full operating system, which I just really like. Also, it doesn't find this Bluetooth, so I don't think that either this isn't standard Bluetooth or my Mac doesn't like it or something. I don't know. I guess I could Google that too. Apparently, I don't know how to Google things. Let's see. PS3, was it DualShock? I'm just gonna say DualShock. Now, I don't know if it's PS3. DualShock 3 controller, Mac OS. How to connect? Oh, you got to use. Wait. Yeah. System preferences, Bluetooth. Oh, you have to use a. Wait. I have to use a USB cable to connect a Bluetooth device? This doesn't seem right. We'll see. I'll try. All right, where's that? Where is it? The cable is right here. All right, I'm gonna plug it in. Okay. And I pressed the PlayStation button. It doesn't show up there. Sorry, buddy. Okay, hold that down, then plug it in. Still not working. I don't think this works, guys. Makes me a little sad. Do I have to install a driver? Press the PlayStation. It'll begin the syncing process. Oh, it didn't though. doesn't. I can't get it to work. It's just sad. I'm sad. I'd show you, but nothing is happening, so there's nothing really to see. So, all right. Scott, I need to update my router soon. I have a Netgear Nighthawk that still works with the update to a router that has 6. So you're looking for a router that also has the wireless Wi-Fi stuff built in. So yeah, I mean, I get it. Like I said, when I update to a new router, like right now I'm using a pfSense rack mount router, one that they actually sent me to review. My review is still up, even though I don't think the model is available anymore. Then they almost hired me, but then ghosted me. It was weird. The company that makes pfSense and Netgate. Anyway, that's a whole nother weird story. But when I upgrade, I think I'm going to go back to Unify. I didn't like Unify or Ubiquity routers because their Unify stuff didn't have a lot of features. Like you couldn't have like multiple IP addresses on a WAN, but you can now. And their cloud router Max right now, like I said, it has a little switch built in. It has a router. It has their cloud controller for their security cameras and all their networking gear. And then, you have to have an external access point for serving out Wi-Fi. But I actually like that. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't think the switch on the back supports PoE, if I recall correctly, which would have been a nice thing. So you could use that Cloud Router Max as your PoE provider as well, but you have to get like an injector or a switch that has PoE. I am happy though that Ubiquity no longer uses 24 volt passive PoE for stuff. Everything is just standard PoE or PoE plus now, which I think is how it should be. And I'm happy that they got rid of all that 24 volt stuff. That was a pain in the butt. I still have some like cameras that are the 24 volt passive, and you have to have like one of their special route or special switches or a 24 volt injector, and it's just such a pain. I don't know why that was ever a thing. Maybe it was cheaper to do 24 volt passive instead of the standard PoE, the 48 volt. I don't know why, but it was a real pain in the butt. So yeah, that's gone. Oh, anyway, what else is going on? Nothing really much is going on, I guess. Someday I'm gonna go on vacation. If we ever sell our farm, my wife and I plan to go somewhere. Not even somewhere far. I think we might just get an Airbnb in like a couple hours away and just sit on the porch. And actually, no, that's not true. She wants to go to Wisconsin specifically because there's a bookstore that she met the owners when she was at a book conference, and she wants to go see their bookstore. So probably we will get an Airbnb in that little town. It's like gosh, I don't remember the name of the town in Wisconsin, but it's near water. So I'll probably go fishing while I'm there. That'll be fun. But yeah, we haven't been on vacation in a long time. So if the farm sells, if at this point. And then I have a friend who's probably not watching this, but he is a pastor who lives in Kansas, and we've been friends for a very, very long time, since before we were old guys. And he got his doctorate recently, and now he's going to take like a 2-month sabbatical, and he's spending over a month of it back here in Michigan, and he plans on fishing every day. How awesome is that? So yeah, he's going to be up in July. Hope to spend some time fishing with him. But anyway, that's that's about all that's going on here. Switched ADHD medicine. Now I'm on Vyvanse. It also doesn't do much, but it's fewer pills to take in a day. So hey, that's fun. The big news, though, is getting braces off soon. I'm very, very, very happy that soon I'll be getting braces off. I'm very tired of having braces. I really hate them a lot. So any questions about me or about Linux or about nerdy stuff? Got a whole bunch of these. I don't normally buy from Amazon, but I got to say, the little Velcro like strappy-doo ties, these are super convenient. And You can get a butt ton of them on Amazon for pretty cheap. So, yeah, I part of the mess in my office is stuff that needs to be Velcro strapped up. So maybe I'll clean. Anybody with a 3D printer, do you just print crap all the time just because you can? I go in stints where like I'll make, I'll print like a 10-inch server rack for some reason, or like this sits on top of a jar and it's like a fruit fly catcher. Where like, you put apple cider vinegar in a mason jar, you set this on top, and the flies get in, then they drown. I just print stuff all the time. Some of it I never use. Draytech router firewall thing. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. The missus is still going well. Every once in a while she'll get like a twinge and it's like we panic, like, oh my gosh, something horrible is happening. Or, like she'll get a twinge and then it'll swell a little bit. And we're like, oh no, oh no, oh no. But so far everything seems to be good. She's able to walk, she's able to do stairs. We're not quite back to like where we were a decade ago. But we're able to be more and more active. And my guess is the rest of this summer will probably just be spent rebuilding some strength. Just because it's funny. I mean, yeah, it took 2 years for the surgeries and like recoveries, but before that, it was like a decade or more of hardly being able to do stuff because the pain was so bad. And so it's not just like trying to rebuild after 2 years, it's like trying to rebuild after a decade. So I think it makes sense that it's a slow process, but as far as the healing part goes and like physical therapy, that's all done and she still continues to do well. So no, but now that Mason has moved out, I'm moving it into the office hobby room. Cool. Mason, did you live with Scott? I didn't even know that. Just kidding. Do I have any plans on making any new type of Linux videos? Not to count to you. I honestly don't know. I want to. I truly do. I want to. But I am so freaking miserable, which is depressing to say. I just don't have any I don't know, to use the mental illness terms. I don't have any spoons left at the end of the day. I just try so hard to get enough work done to, pay our bills at various levels of success that I haven't been able to do anything extracurricular except maybe, 20 minutes of fishing when I drop somebody off somewhere. I'm like, oh, I'm going to pull over and fish for 20 minutes. And that's like the only, any outside of work that I do. So I don't know. I hope that changes, but it's already been over a year and it hasn't yet. So I don't even know. I just don't even know. And that makes me sad. So I'm not like, Mason, how could you say that? No, you made me sad. No, not like that. But, yeah, I don't know. I used to say, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Now I'm like, I don't even know. I don't know what is going to happen. The only thing I'm doing now is once the farm sells, maybe I'll have a better take on what life looks like after that. Yeah, because right now it just feels like stress one day. There's this graphic I often share over and over with my wife. And here, I'll hold it up to the screen because, I could probably share it and get it on the camera, but it's easier just to hold it up to the screen. So that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, adulthood is saying, but after this week, things will slow down a bit over and over until you die. So yeah, that seems like how life has been for years. Yeah. Oh, Renee bought me a 3D printer, 3-color penguin, a local festival. Ooh. Well, that's cool, Scott. Interesting. You have to let me know how it goes. I have I've talked about it before and it's like in the background there, but it's, I have the Bamboo Lab Carbon X1 or whatever. And it has been pretty maintenance, like low maintenance, but like right now a piece of filament snapped off somewhere. So I got to disassemble it to get the piece of broken filament out so it'll feed again. So that's annoying. But it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. So I was telling somebody recently, if you haven't done it before, you might want to get a glue stick, because if it doesn't say right on it, if you apply a thin layer with a glue stick over the entire print bed, printing sticks much better. Like if I don't apply a thin layer, my printer actually says right on it, apply glue stick, and it came with a glue stick as part of the kit. But literally just like smear glue stick like over the entire print bed, let it dry. I mean, it only takes a minute to dry. And then if you print on that, stuff tends to stick better, because there's nothing more annoying than like you start a print job and then it like breaks loose and then you just have spaghetti all over. Yeah. So anyway, on that note, I guess I should go. I was going to play video games, but we ended up just chatting, which is fine. I don't think this is going to work. I just found it in a box. I have a PlayStation. Actually, I have a couple of PlayStation 3s. It'll probably work with that. But yeah, anyway, have a great rest of your Sunday, everybody. And I know some of you, it's already pretty late, so have a good night's sleep. I am going to go pick my wife up from work pretty shortly and stay inside because Canada's on fire and it makes it hard for me to breathe. I have like, I have some janky air filtering in the house where you just take a furnace filter, like a MERV 13 furnace filter, and rubber band it to the back of a box fan. And I have a couple of those, and it works so much better than it should to filter the air in the house. It's so funny how well it works to filter out the air in the house. So anyway, on that note, yeah, have a good one, everybody. And take it easy. Oh, frog tape, painter's tape works out well. That's interesting, Scott. I might have to try that, because glue sticks, I don't like glue sticks because it makes the bottom, like you have to like wipe it off, because sometimes you get a sticky residue on the bottom. But anyway, that's another whole live stream. So talk to everybody later.